And so I've been a vegetarian since 1986, and I kind of go in and out of veganism, if there's such a thing. And so the other day, a couple weeks ago, I made vegetarian vegan tacos with the ground beef and everything. So, and the guy I'm dating now, he's starting to go vegan. So he's starting to eat my vegan bologna, and so it's now I'm like, wow, that tastes pretty good. So the trick that I did on my daughter was I said, oh, we're having tacos tonight. The week before I made her chicken tacos, and we had the vegan ground beef tacos. So I said, we're gonna have ground beef tacos tonight. So I made them with the ground beef. It was even vegan cheese, vegan shredded cheese, the vegan ground beef, whole wheat organic tortilla, and she ate 2 and thinks she's eating regular meat. I have no idea. So I'm going to actually not tell her for a few more times. So she doesn't realize, like, oh no, mommy. But the trick was I couldn't let her see me eat it, because if she sees me, you're eating beef now? So I had to trick her and hide my ground beef underneath the black beef so she couldn't see it. So, but just even starting to train her kind of young, and she's seeing that I'm doing that, and to realize it really isn't a big difference.
And I've been vegetarian for about 13 years, something like that. And it initially was like my mom was butt hurt, for about a good 3-4 months, until she made one. And she's like, look at this. I made it like brother love this, huh? And we were like, well, this is hella good. And my mom's eyes lit up. And she's like, well, if you like that, I can do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And she's boom. And all of a sudden, that butt hurt turns into like this overwhelming love, and then all of a sudden we started bringing in information, like education, scientific education, to where she became more open. And now it's not about her making 2 meals for my dad and my brother, but more like, hey, there's 2 meals to my dad. Look at what your sons are eating. You might want to try this. Because she knew that my dad has heart issues, just like my mom. They both have diabetes. My dad used to clown. He's like, oh, that's food of wheelchair. You got to be on a wheelchair to eat that kind of food. And then later on, he understands. He's like our biggest promoter. He's not vegetarian. Look at my sons. They cook this food. You want to come try this? It's good for your health. And then even his elder colleagues who are older than him also come to us because they know it melts better in their stomach with the elders. So it took some time, but my parents became our biggest supporter, even though they themselves are not vegetarian,
I remember going to a party, like a family function. Our parents knew we were vegetarian. They held us down. They represented for us really well. So sometimes the elders at these parties would say, oh, kinda, like, eat. And, we'll be like, oh, no, thank you, I already ate. No, I already ate, no, thank you. And then my mom would just come out the cut and be like, oh, yeah, he already ate. Whereas before that, like, we would just kind of get roasted by other elders and, like, and it was almost a sense of disrespect, because that same concept, like, you're not eating my food, Our slogan is, have you eaten? Because as a Filipino culture, that's the thing about us. You come in my house, I'm going to feed you. That's always how we are. We're open palm people. It's like, whatever I got is yours. And so that's why I took that slogan and made it ours, because it's the same concept. But like I said, before our parents became our biggest promoters, other older generation Filipinos would kind of give us a bad time about it.
And I think earlier JR said something in the earlier cookie workshop where, traditions, we're all bound by traditions, right? But sometimes, traditions, you have to create your own tradition. And not saying that everybody's going to be bound by it, but, life is about diversity, so you're having different other flavors. So.